Okay, this is a chapter 6 into action. So we're going to be a little bit of a recap. The recap is we've looked at the history of Alcoholics Anonymous. We have a now good idea of how this whole thing started. We look at the doctor's opinion. The good doctor, Dr. Seekworth, explained to us the problem. Bill W. explained to us what was the solution to our problem, and then we studied the chapters to explain how to bring that solution to light. So please tell me, what is the problem? Anybody?
We've got a twofold illness.
Okay, tell me more about the twofold illness.
We have an obsession of the mind and an allergy of the body.
Okay, so how's the obsession of the mind occurring? What occurs? What happened?
We feel restless, irritable, discontent.
Okay, we're restless, irritable, and discontent. We feel the hole in the soul. Think about what triggers this to you. It could be loneliness, isolation, anger. It could be a lot of things. I call it the hole in the soul because that's what makes more sense to me. So when I feel that way, what occurs? What happens?
We can pick up, or we want to soothe it.
We want to soothe how we feel. So we don't necessarily want to drink or do sex or shopping or gambling or drugs. We just want to remove that uncomfortable feeling. But because we don't know any other ways, we will use something, which is clearly bringing a lot of consequences into our life and make our life unmanageable. So when you pick into that desire, what happens?
We pick up.
You picked up on it? What happens when you pick up?
Phenomenon of craving.
The phenomenon of craving, the physical allergy starts, and then all the bets are off. What's the solution?
The 12 steps.
Yay! What happened as a result of the 12 steps?
You have a spiritual awakening.
Or a psychic change, or a personality change. What will happen is something will occur to you, some form of change will occur. And can you tell me, when does that occur?
Yeah, any time.
Anytime, absolutely. So what I'm seriously suggesting is when you go to program with people and if they relapse on step 1, on step 10, or even on step 12, you crack on with the program. And if they really want it, if they really want recovery and they understand the problem and the solution, you will know and they will know what to do. Because then, as a result of that spiritual awakening, psychic change or personality change, you are recovered. The obsession should have been removed. You might have a few desires, but the obsession has been removed. And when you have a desire, we've got something that we should practice. What is this? How do I go from being sober, recovered, to emotionally sober, emotionally recovered?
We practice the design for living.
Bingo. So what is the design for living?
Carrying the message and practicing our principles and assets.
That's right. You carry and you practice. So if you have a desire and you completed the program, all you need to do is to carry and practice. Bill W. tells us that when he really wanted to drink because he had a very strong desire, he told us when he carried the message, and that person was actually Dr. Bob. And we also know that we must carry the message. Then everything else fails. Carrying the message to another person always saves the day. So you might have strong desire for whatever reason. When you feel that way, just carry the message to another person and it will take you out of it immediately. Okay, can you please take us into chapter 6, into action?
Having made our personal inventory, what shall we do about it? We've been trying to get a new attitude, a new relationship with our Creator, and to discover the obstacles in our path.
Can you highlight? And to discover the obstacles in our path. And so remember, you highlighting, and each time I stop and I repeat, you use a different color highlighter. I want your book to be multicolor by the time we finish the program.
We have admitted certain defects. We have ascertained in a rough way what the trouble is. We have put our finger on the weak items in our personal inventory. Now these are about to be cast out.
Can you highlight? Now these are about to be cast out. And can you write page 27? And can somebody read page 27 for us?
Here and there, once in a while, alcoholics have had what's called vital spiritual experiences. To me, these occurrences are phenomena. They appear to be in the nature of huge emotional displacements and rearrangements. Ideas, emotions, and attitudes, which are once the guiding forces of the lives of these men, are suddenly cast to one side, and a completely new set of conceptions and motives begin to dominate them.
Okay, does that make sense? Does that make sense? How to bring about that spiritual awakening, that psychic change that is necessary for recovery. Now these are about to be cast out. So what is about to be cast out, do you think?
The obsession of the mind.
Not the obsession of the mind. What is about to be cast out is what you've discovered in your step 4. You know your part in your step 4, your behavior, how you behave, how you function, what makes you tick. All of those things, when you go into your part, you realize, we've done your step 5, you realize what really makes you tick. You realize your part in it, where you're being selfish, self-seeking, when you're being dishonest, frightened. All of these are the part that we want to be casting out. Okay? Go ahead.
This requires action on our part, which, when completed, will mean that we have admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our defects.
Can you highlight this? So this requires action on our part, which when completed will mean that we have admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our defects. So now you've completed your step 4. You put down on paper all of your stuff. Remember, for step 4, what is really important is I don't want to see your life story on that step 4. This is not what it's required. Remember, when Bill W. did his step 4 and his step 5 with Abby Thatcher at the hospital. Bob Smith did exactly the same, and Bill Dalton, AA number 3, did exactly the same. So it didn't take them hours and hours and hours on end to do their step 5. Okay? What they were doing is they thought about the resentment, the fears that they were holding, the sex conduct, all of those things, and they put them out there. They told somebody else. So what I want to see in your step 5, in your step 4, is what is current, what is really, really bothering you right now. And then all the other little bits and pieces, then these can be done later on. If you forget something, don't worry, we can do a mini step 4. Put the name, the cause, tell me how it made you feel, and then tell me what is the part in it, and then can be done very quickly. Okay? Go ahead.
This brings us to the 5th step in the program of recovery, mentioned in the preceding chapter.
Okay, can you highlight with your special color 5th step? Can somebody tell me what is the 5th step principle? Integrity. So step 4, what is the principle of step 4?
Courage.
Courage. So you had the courage to put on paper all of the stuff. And then you had to practice integrity, be honest with just one person. Okay? And we're going to see who is that person, because often you will hear the guides or the sponsors say, you have to do that work with me. The fact is that's not quite accurate.
Do you have to share all of it with one single person? Could you split it between
That's
multiple
right.
people?
And we're gonna see that just now.
Okay.
So you don't have to do it with any one person. You can do it with different people. But most importantly, you choose that person. Do not allow anybody tell you that you should do it with them and it has to be with them. Otherwise, they can't do the program with you, because that's not true. That's not the program of recovery. And we're going to see it now. Go ahead.
This is perhaps difficult, especially discussing our defects with another person. We think we have done well enough in admitting these things to ourselves. There is doubt about that. In actual practice, we usually find a solitary self-appraisal insufficient. Many of us thought it necessary to go much further. We will be more reconciled to discussing ourselves with another person when we see good reasons why we should do so. The best reason first. If we skip this vital step, we may not overcome drinking.
Stop. Can you highlight? The best reason first. If we skip this vital step, we may not overcome drinking. So it's not saying that you will be drinking, but it's telling you, you've come all this way. You've done all that work. Just do it. Let go. You know, You've made a decision to live in a solution, not in a problem. You've decided to go to any length to find recovery. Just, let go of it. Do it.
Time after time, newcomers have tried to keep to themselves certain facts about their lives. Trying to avoid this humbling experience, they have turned to easier methods. Almost invariably, they got drunk.
Can you highlight? Time after time, newcomers have tried to keep to themselves certain facts about their lives. Trying to avoid this humbling experience, they have turned to easier method. Almost invariably, they got drunk. And this is as experienced by the AA founders. The people who put their energy and time to write this book for us, the textbook, which is basically our program of recovery, they all seen that happening. The people who are holding on to some of the truth might drink again or have been going back to drinking.
Having persevered with the rest of the program, they wondered why they fell. We think the reason is that they never completed their house cleaning. They took inventory all right, but hung on to some of the worst items in stock. They only thought they had lost their egoism and fear. They only thought they had humbled themselves. But they had not learned enough of humility, fearlessness, and honesty in the sense we find it necessary, until they told someone else all their life story.
Okay, very important. Can you highlight all of this? We think the reason is that they never completed the house cleaning all the way to until they told someone all their life story. This step 4, people, is really, really important. Remember, step 1, you admit that you have a problem. Step 2, you are willing to believe there might be a solution to your problem. And step 3, you make a decision to live in a solution, not in a problem. You've done absolutely no work here. You've done nothing. This is the foundation of your program. Nothing has been done. Step 4 to 9 is going to be the house cleaning. But remember your step 4, all the energy, the time, and the sweat you're going to put into your step 4 is your step 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Step 4 is basically everything. And if you don't do it properly, if you don't put your heart and your soul into it, this program might not work for you.
More than most people, the alcoholic leads a double life. He is very much the actor. To the outer world, he presents his stage character.
Can you highlight? More than most people, the alcoholic leads a double life. He is very much the actor. To the outer world, it presents his stage character.
This is the one he likes his fellows to see. He wants to enjoy a certain reputation, but knows in his heart he doesn't deserve it. The inconsistency is made worse by the things he does on his sprees.
Can you highlight? The inconsistency is made worse by the things he does on his spree.
Coming to his senses, he is revolted at certain episodes he vaguely remembers. These memories are a nightmare. He trembles to think someone might have observed him. As fast as he can, he pushes these memories far inside himself. He hopes they will never see the light of day. He's under constant fear and tension that makes for more drinking.
Can you highlight? He's under constant fear and tension that makes for more drinking.
Psychologists are inclined to agree with us. We have spent thousands of dollars for examinations. We know but few instances where we have given these doctors a fair break. We have seldom told them the whole truth, nor have we followed their advice. Unwilling to be honest with these sympathetic men, we were honest with no one else. Small wonder many in the medical profession have a low opinion of alcoholics and their chance for recovery. We must be entirely honest with somebody if we expect to live long or happily in this world.
Can you highlight? We must be entirely honest with somebody if we expect to live long or happily in this world.
Rightly and naturally, we think well before we choose the person or persons with whom to take this intimate and confidential step.
That's right. Okay, can you highlight? Very important. So rightly and naturally, we think well before we choose the person or persons with whom to take this intimate and confidential step. It's up to you to choose who you want to do it with. You can do a few with me, you can do a few with another person. it's up to you. Whatever is comfortable for you, as long as you tell your whole truth to the people.
Those of us belonging to a religious denomination which requires confession must, and of course will want to go to the properly anointed authority whose duty it is to receive it. Though we have no religious connection, we may still do well to talk with someone ordained by an established religion. We often find such a person quick to see and understand our problem. Of course, we sometimes encounter people who do not understand alcoholics. If we cannot, or would rather not do this, we search our acquaintance for a closed-mouth, understanding friends. Perhaps our doctor or psychologist will be the person. It may be one of our own family, but we cannot disclose anything to our wives or our parents which will hurt them and make them unhappy. We have no right to save our own skin at another person's expense.
Can you highlight? We have no right to save our own skin at another person's expense.
Such parts of our story we tell to someone who will understand yet be unaffected. The rule is we must be hard on ourselves but always considerate of others.
Can you highlight? The rule is we must be hard on ourselves but always considerate of others.
Notwithstanding the great necessity for discussing ourselves with someone, it may be one is so situated that there is no suitable person available. If that is so, this step may be postponed. Only, however, if we hold ourselves in complete readiness to go through with it at the first opportunity. We say this because we are very anxious that we talk to the right person. It is important that he be able to keep a confidence, that he fully understand and approve what we are driving at, that he will not try to change our plan, but we must not use this as a mere excuse to postpone. When we decide who is to hear our story, we waste no time.
Stop. Can you highlight? When we decide who is to hear our story, once again here, we are showing you that it's up to you to decide. Can you underline we decide? It can be anybody. It doesn't have to be the sponsor or the guide. Okay, just always remember that. Don't feel hurt or don't feel like, because somebody doesn't want to do it with you, it's because they don't trust you. It's just because it might be too uncomfortable for them. Maybe they're too much in fear of telling you some of their past behavior. Just be accepting, okay? Just allow them to do it the way that they feel it's right for them to do it.
We have a written inventory and we are prepared for a long talk. We explain to our partner what we're about to do and why we have to do it. He should realise that we are engaged upon a life and death errand. Most people approached in this way will be glad to help. They will be honoured by our confidence. We pocket our pride and go to it, illuminating every twist of character, every dark cranny of the past.
Stop. Can you highlight? We pocket our pride and go to it. Humility. Step 7 principle, humility. Courage.
Eliminating every twist of character, every dark cranny of the past. Once we have taken this step, withholding nothing, we are delighted. We can look the world in the eye. We can be alone at perfect peace and ease. Our fears fall from us. We begin to feel the nearness of our Creator. We may have had certain spiritual beliefs, but now we begin to have a spiritual experience. The feeling that the drink problem has disappeared will often come strongly. We feel we're on the broad highway, walking hand in hand with the spirit of the universe.
Okay, very good. Can you highlight these people? So when you've done your step, you're going to feel something. Some of you are going to feel something, some of you are not going to feel that much. But I believe that you're going to feel something you're going to feel a little bit lighter. So once we have taken this step, with holding nothing, we are delighted. Can you please highlight all the way to, we feel that we are on a broad highway, walking hand in hand with the spirit of the universe. What's this?
Step 5 promises.
They are the promises of step 5. So remember the promises, and we keep talking about in the rooms, at the meetings. They are the step 9 promises on page 83. They are not the big book's promises, because the big book has promises throughout. Very good. I really, really like this. Go ahead.
Returning home, we find a place where we can be quiet for an hour, carefully reviewing what we have done. We thank God from the bottom of our heart that we know Him better.
Okay, can you highlight this part? So, returning home, we found a place where we can be quiet for an hour. Carefully reviewing what we have done, we thank God, or the solution from the bottom of our heart, that we know ourselves a little bit better. So, generally speaking, as you have experienced, what I do when I finish the step 5 with you, I said to you, just go somewhere, spend an hour to pamper yourself. Go and take a bath, go and have cakes, do something good for you because you bloody deserve it. That was a massive amount of work and you bloody really deserve it. So take some time. Remember, always to take people to take an hour for themselves. Okay, go ahead.
Taking this book down from our shelf, we turn to the page which contains the 12 steps. Carefully reading the first 5 proposals, we ask if we have omitted anything. For we are building an arch through which we shall walk a free man at last.
Okay, can you please highlight this part? So taking this book down from our shelves, we turn to the page which contain the 12 steps. Carefully reading the first 5 proposals, we ask if we have omitted anything. For we are building an arch through which we shall walk a free man at last. So could you please turn your book to page 59? And I'm going to be asking you some questions. And I want you to answer to me. Yes or no. So have you admitted that you were powerless over your addiction, but your lives had become unmanageable?
Yes.
Okay. Have you come to believe there might be a solution to your problem?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Have you made a decision to turn your will and your life over to the solution?
Yes.
Okay. Have you made a searching and fearless moral inventory of yourselves?
Yes.
Okay, and have you admitted to God or the solution to yourself, and to another human being the exact nature of your wrongs?
Yes.
Okay, can you go back now to page 75, and I'm going to continue to ask you questions. As I ask you the question, can you please highlight? So, is your work solid so far?
Yes.
Yeah? Are the stones properly in place, highlighted in a different color?
Yes.
Yeah? Have you skimped on the cement put into the foundation?
No.
Okay, very good. And have you tried to make mortar without sand?
No.
Okay, so congratulations, you've now completed your step 5.